Welcome again to another episode of Brewing Connections with Bible Networkers, the podcast where faith meets up entrepreneurship and meaningful relationships are at the heart of every story. As you already know, and it says here, my name is Ana Dominguez de Show, and I am the leader and founder of this amazing group in which we believe that when God is in the center of our business and relationships and connections, incredible things happen, doors open, hearts align, and purpose is revealed. So today's guest, I told you in our last episode that we were going to have him today here because you really want to hear him. You really want to hear his story. He's a kingdom minded entrepreneur who is doing more than just building a business, but he is building people, community, and purpose as well. So Sergio Rey, we call it in English Sergio, but in Spanish is Sergio Rey. He is a strategist in marketing, automation. You tell me, Sergio, if I'm doing it right or not. You know,
You're doing just
this is
right.
another language for me. Okay. So, automation and artificial intelligence. He is the founder of Mall Digital 360 and the creator of Cliente 360, a growth system designed to help Latino-owned brick and mortar businesses in the US get more five-star reviews, attract more clients, and increase sales without paid ads, tech headaches, or relying on social media. Sergio is also a speaker and corporate trainer, widely recognized for empowering entrepreneurs and business owners through simple and effective digital tools. He also brings his faith into every part of what he does, and it shows in the way that he serves, leads, and connects. In this conversation, we'll be talking about his journey of faith and entrepreneurship and how God has moved in his business, relationships, and what it really means to grow a network that honors him. So, Sergio, welcome to the show. Welcome to Bring Connections with Purpose. We're going to be diving into your story. And the first question that we want to ask you is what inspired you to turn marketing into a purpose driven calling?
Thank you, Anita. Thank you so much for the invitation to such a powerful and great way to communicate, to share, to get ideas, inspiration, and that is one of the main things that resonates for my company, my agency, and myself to be partnered with your community of Babel Networking, which we have been proud, we're proudly almost 3 year connection so far. So thank you again for the welcome, for the introduction. And basically, what I see is um, taking as a reference God, not from the religious point, but from the spiritual point. So after all, in my opinion, it's not important the religion, how we perceive it, what our beliefs are. The belief we have might be the right ones for each person, for each individual. So what I have found in my journey as a person and as an entrepreneur is that we all have gifts, talents. The point is that they are different and they have been exclusively given to each of us. So the goal is how to connect that passion, that inspiration that comes from something bigger and farther than ourselves, from something really out of our traditional box or human mind, and connect it with something that really provides the best value. Because that is the way we really grow as an entrepreneurs. How to not just transaction, but transformation. It's not only a matter of how I perceive business, how I sell, how I promote. Those are important parameters, and also how I can make a really impact, a transformation in whatever customer you are serving. So that is how I connected, let's say, my personal journey, my personal purpose with technology to make out of it a purpose to help entrepreneurs, Latino entrepreneurs in United States to thrive in their business.
Awesome. I love it. And that's exactly what we were talking about last episode, that you don't want to be trying to find a transaction every time you are in a networking meeting. But anyway, so you said it again. So I love that we are um, attracting the right people in this group. So how did you end up where you are today?
Well, in one moment or another, maybe in the past, I may label it like accidentally, occasionally. Now I could resume it in three letters and one word, God. Because if I remove any part of my journey, personal journey, family journey, entrepreneurial journey, some things that I in the past label it as bad, wrong, negative, failure. In fact, they were lessons that without them, I won't be able to be in the step where I am now. I am not a finished product. I am still in the same uh, process that we as human are in our different aspect, in the different aspects of our life. So what I will say is um, just continue working harder on myself than on my job, making plans, execution, iteration, try one way, try another, look for ways how to channel your talents and gifts to provide value to serve your community, your church, your neighborhood, your business, your customer, your provider, your employees. So that is basically what has brought me today is a goal bigger than myself, not only to change my life, but to change some other people's life. And thanks to that, now change mine, like a reflection out of it, and never stop. I have made plenty of errors, some dumb, very stupid errors. But there is something that maybe I will say good about me, and it's consistent. I have made sure to never stop. No matter what, I may reduce the effort, but never stop.
I love it. Awesome. Yep. Persistency. What is the biggest turning point in your career?
Wow, there are probably one that comes out to my mind fast is, or biggest is, one day I had a small car with small engine and it stopped working. So I said probably some mechanic failure. And it was the real reason was out of fuel, out of gasoline. So small engine, no gasoline really showed me that that something that was wrong outside, it was a reflection of something wrong probably inside. And then that helped me really to stretch out, to get out of my comfort zone that probably some people had noticed in me, but I had not noticed it on myself. So I really started working, improving, testing, self-study until I got traction again and went out of this financial difficult situation.
Yeah. Yeah, it will teach us, right? So now let's dive into networking and connections. Can you share a time where a single connection changed everything for you? When you
Wow.
say networking is important.
Wow, yes, absolutely. And the first and the biggest and the closest example is you.
Hmm.
I had the pleasure to meet you more than 2 years ago. It was for Halloween season in at Katrina's bar, and I really enjoyed a lot. So I say, hey, I love the energy. I mean, we are a profit company. We are looking to expand, to generate money, and money is important, but it's not the main reason why we do what we do, and it's not the unique reason why we do it. So we really love connections, long-term relations, and always know most of the times has like the word like if, what if in a positive way? What if this person is our best contact? What if this person knows a great contact? What if this person can become a partner, a provider, a supplier, an employee, etc.? So that what if in the positive way has helped us to focus on the network, on the networking, and you are the best example out of that. I can name enough great people that I have met thanks to one single connection like you. And probably at that moment you were one person in that networking group, and now that have developed many great people inside Florida and even out of state, and why not out in some other countries.
Yes, I agree. Thank you for that, Sergio. So, what is your approach to building meaningful relationships in business?
My approach is they focus first in the person than in their business. Um, Establish real, authentic relations. Come always with the perception of first giving and then receiving. Um, Ask yourself most of the time, what can I do for you instead of what can you do for me? Um, Listen 80%, only try to talk, try to speak 20%. And basically expect or behave like you would like the other part to behave them. Something like that.
Yeah, I agree. It's the first time I hear something like that, but it is also very important. So, how do you stay in touch with your network in an authentic way?
Mm, that is a great way. Establish relation. Make sure that most of the time you try to retain as many information as you can. Try to pay attention because sometimes it's easy to be in the place physically, but our mind be everywhere except in that same place. So try to catch information, to retain information about personal things. They like dogs or cats, if they have children, what are their likings, their interests, their etc. And if not, use the technology for that. Like an extension of your brain, you can take a separate note if you feel confident, or if you like it in a traditional way, taking notes, that's fine. The way doesn't matter, is the what, the result, or use ChatGPT at your memory, your about, something like that, that you say, hey, I talked with this person about A, B, and C, something very small that helps you to go back to that file in your mind and grab the information to be up to date.
That's a nice way, nice idea. So, now talking about lessons and advice, what is a mistake that you've made in your journey that others can learn from?
Hmm. I'm gonna I'm gonna try to narrow maybe the I'm gonna try to get only one out of many. One of the main errors that I will say is try to do everything by yourself. Try to think that you are the only one who can does that in the perfect way. Perfection, I think, is a critical mistake. Um, Feel that you are not enough. You don't need that you need to learn something else. Probably that's not true. Probably you know already 99% and you only are missing one. Also, another thing is action over thinking. It's better to, because action will give you feedback, and feedback will help you improve, and you continue that cycle of regular improvement. So I will say stop overthinking, just think about it, start with whatever you have, wherever you are, and once you start building on that journey, you're gonna find the way, find the solutions. But in order to find the solutions and the answers, You gotta keep moving and be active. Otherwise, the information is hard to discover it because you have to explore it.
Wow, that's a good one. Well, you said a little bit more than one, and yeah, that's good.
Sorry,
That's good.
that was only one.
No,
Okay.
that's good because you summarize it. Like, okay, be careful, watch out. Talking about advices, what is a good advice that you would give to someone who is starting in your industry?
Hmm, I love that. Um, I will say that there is a season for two different things. One, there is a season to model. I mean, to not copy someone, but just have someone that you admire in your field that you gotta learn from that person. And there is another stage, another season when you can create, you can discover and explore. So I will say, if you are just starting, just try to see what is already working and try not to copy, but try to model. Let's say that you want to reduce to 5 pounds of weight. You're gonna go to somebody that is probably in the gym and see what they are doing, exercising, or what they are eating. So if you probably follow a similar path, a similar routine, you probably will get a similar result. So in this case, if you are starting, it's not the time to start from scratch, discovering one, because you are gonna make so many mistakes that may take you out of business in that iteration. So I will say, see what is already working, try to model them, don't copy them, try to perform the best way. And then once you have, let's say, a little more of cash flow or a budget for it, now you can test some crazy ideas that sometimes work only in your mind. So that's why you must leave it for the right moment to do that.
Nice. Perfect. So now, what is something that you would like more people to know about networking?
That is a fundamental that when we say fundamental, we're talking about basics, and basic things has a particular thing in common that they have work today, and will work in the future. So don't get fake, don't get the mistake of thinking, no, now it's technology, now it's digital, now everything is virtual. Yes and no, because after all, technology is not to replace the interaction, it's only the way to do it. But after all, technology is just a way to connect a human with a human,
Mhm.
no matter how, connect them. So what you do in person in the networking, you can translate it to virtual and vice versa. So none of them is better than the other one. They are just separate, different, and complement each other. So if you haven't put effort or enough effort in that area, that is something that I really encourage you to do it, because it's affecting in one or another way your business too.
Yes, I agree. Awesome. That's a good advice, Sergio. So
Thank
now
you,
we're
Anita.
talking about other things. What could be your dream connection to meet and why? Maybe you can get it today.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Anita. Where the right connection for us now is a Latino business owner of in the beauty sector, in the beauty niche, and probably in the sub niche, in the subsector of med spa, manicure and pedicure, beauty salon, and similar subsectors or sub niches or sub services out of beauty. That is like our great connection, because we are developing a high value, cost effective solution for that specific industry sector and subsectors. Now, we are also having as a purpose, as a mission, some other businesses, same thing, Latinos businesses in United States that has a brick and mortar model that depend of the people showing up in the place to complete their product or service transaction, because they can benefit from our Cliente 360 starter plan that, as you said in the beginning, it help more sales more frequently, without ads, without technical complications, and non-social media required.
Okay, awesome. So now, talking about a book or a podcast or a tool that you use to grow yourself, what is something that you cannot live without besides the podcast of Babel networking, of course?
Of course, additional to that, to Babel Networking Podcast and all the material in person and virtual, I will say, for meditation purposes, there is an app. Its name is Balance, as Balance. I love that app, and I don't see myself living without it. Not because I am good at meditation, because I am bad meditating. I feel the power of it. Um, Another tool that helped me a lot, the ChatGPT helped me a lot, because the way I also train it, depending of what I want. Sometimes what I want is get out of my mind an idea, put it in something, and just get the feedback. Don't allow ChatGPT to be my boss. He is my partner. He is like the way to take out my brain, let's say my thoughts, and get back. Um, get that feedback. I mean, um, in maybe an app about Kindle is something I use in order to make sure that I can read no matter if I am traveling. I have the Kindle Fire to read books on the go, and I will say those are like the main. One more before I go. There is one that its name is Your Time, I think, that will help you to measure the usage of the social media. So that is something that I encourage you to do, a social media diet, because sometimes it's important to relieve some non-useful information in order to get a space for new and productive information.
I love it. Yeah, we need a break of that, huh? Okay, so now, what is a fun fact about you that most people in your professional network would not know, but they're gonna know right now?
That's funny. I love that. Probably the best person that should say that is anyone except myself, but I will say that maybe sometimes maybe people may perceive that I am like a serious person, and I am not. I am simple, spontaneous, non-complicated, non-sophisticated, easygoing. Uh, or that is what I think most people feel or perceive from me. I love music. I love music. I'm not saying I'm good as a DJ, as a disc jockey. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I love to play music, to entertain people, to have people together, to share people. I am a field believer of the power of community, of team, of brainstorms, of sharing ideas. Nobody has all the answers, so together is the key.
I love it. Well, yeah, I agree. I kind of thought you were very serious the first time I was talking to you. And when we jump in that Zoom call, I remember I was with my kid, and he was just giving me a hard time, don't letting me work and interrupting us a lot, and you were not laughing at all. So I was like, oh my gosh, I think he's and then here we are. Yeah, I have the complete opposite impression of you, of course.
Thank you,
You are
Anita.
not serious at all. But anyways, and about your current work and future goals, what is something that you're currently working and you're excited about?
Thank you, Anita. I love that question too. Right now, we are on a mission. not a project, but really a mission bigger than ourselves. We have developed a marketing solution, a local grow automated system helping Latinos business in United States, brick and mortar that depend of people walking into it and completing their transaction, product, and service to get more five-star reviews, to get a better ranking, a better position in the search engines that helps them bring new customers every day, that they can have the most important digital asset for a business that is the database that they can sell to more people better prices, more money per transaction, and more frequently. So after all, we are really impacting in the most important thing in our opinion, which is sales. Money, cash flow every day, new money, new ideas, new reinvestment, better products, better services, so they have a better impact in their communities. So we are really working very hard now. We are increasing our team in the back end in order to be able to start covering different areas of the country. One side in the west for California, starting in California, the other in the east, starting here in Florida, and another in the center, starting in Texas, to start impacting. We already have some success case studies about the high impact and great impact we're having. So that is something we are working to impact at least 10,000 Latinos business in the next 3 years.
Nice. How can we support you achieve that?
Well, one way to support us is knowing that a business, that a Latino business with the specification I share may want more customers without paying ads. Maybe they have had the issues paying ads, maybe not seeing enough return of investment. You can refer to us, the business owner, and we can contact them back to follow them up and see if the solution is right for them. And we have also our Affiliate 360 system, which is our referral program that any business owner that would help us to help them to grow and grow in their communities, we're paying up to $150 per each fully activated customer.
Nice. Awesome, Sergio. Okay. Well, so everybody who is listening, we really learned a lot today, not only about Sergio and his business, but how is this story become a successful story. Because when you really find your purpose and how you can help people, the rest just comes itself. And Sergio is an example of that. And when you do it the right way and in the faith path, like everything just happens, and you cannot even imagine the fruit that you can have when you do it the right way, in a spiritual way as well. So thank you so much, Sergio, for joining us. Thank you for coming to our podcast. We're so excited you are here with us. Sorry about the times that we rescheduled, right? It was like it was fun, this recording. But is there anything else that you would like to add before we leave?
No, Anita, just thank you again for the great invitation. I'm really happy to be here with you, with Babel Networking, with the great audience. And if this is the first time that you are seeing this type of information, knowing about Babel Networking, let me tell you, networking groups, there are many, plenty of them. The point is that you need to dive into if that is something that resonates. Here you will find a dynamic, happy, encouraged, positive, more giving than receiving, helping, establishing relations with God, with faith, with good values, good ethic, where we pursue in an ambitious way, but in the good way, for purpose, for impact, for mission. So Babel Networking is the right place for you. And if you are already a member, you have attended one or many or few events of Babel networking, the best suggestion is stay close, stay in touch. Everything changes, and usually in Babel networking, everything changes for the best. So that is basically what I wanted to close with. Thank you, Anita. It's a pleasure for me to count on you not only as a partner but as a friend.
Yes, likewise, my friend. So thank you very much, everyone who listened to us in this episode with Sergio Rey. And remember, we really want to encourage you to put God in the center of your business, God in the center of your connections and relationships, because we want incredible things to happen to you and in your business. And then we want to hear all about it, either in the podcast or in the networking meetings as well. Thank you, Sergio, and see you in the next one.
See you in the
Ciao.
next one. Thank you, Anita. Bye bye.